So I kind of had a weird experience at the Goodwill lately. I was in line. I found some games. And I was behind this guy. This guy I've seen before at other Salvation Armies and Goodwills and just all kinds of places that I frequent. Although I always am over at the media and stuff, and he's always getting like weird old antiques and stuff. And he's a really feminine man, and he's older. And yeah, he sounds homosexual, just really lays it on thick with the talking and the stuff, and it's really funny sounding. It's like, oh hi, it's really forced. But anyway, he's in line ahead of me. He looks back at me, and he has this basset hound carved out of wood. And he looks at the cashier and tells her that he could not find a price on it. And she like twirls it like 10,000, 50,000 different ways to try to find a price on it. No price. Now she can't just name a price for some reason. She has to go to the back and talk to the head honchos who, go through and filter through all this shit that comes in and puts prices on it to get a price. Because she's a cashier, not a pricer. I don't know if there's a hierarchy there or whatever. It sounds like bullshit to me. But anyway, she goes back and he looks at me and says, I guess it's a typical, I'm probably the typical redneck, and he's trying to, bounce some questions off me. He's like, this is a basset hound, isn't it? Isn't it? I'm like, yeah, that is. That's a basset hound. I've seen enough of them. I know what a basset hound looks like. And he's, thank you. I really need to know. Thanks. And then the Chinese lady that was the cashier comes back with the Spanish lady. And the Spanish lady toggles with the basset hound carved out of wood and looks around at it. And she mumbles a price. And he goes, what? What'd you say? And she's like, you don't follow. And he says, what? What'd you say? And finally, she says, kind of more clearly, $8.95. And he kind of gets filibustered and all panicky. He says, no, I'm not going to buy that then. You can go ahead and take that back to the back. And then, right after she left, it just out of nowhere, he goes on this Mexicano rant. He says, damn Mexicans, they come here from Mexico, get a college education for free, and then get into these jobs and think they have all this power over us. And he is looking right at me. Like, I guess, again, the redneck thing's expecting me to go, preach it, brother. Oh, yeah, let's get out some crosses and some rope, have ourselves a ball. But no, I mean, what do you do in that situation? Someone's point blankly looking at you for you to agree with them, for you to, say, yeah, hell yeah, give them a vote for confidence, and it's not there. So it's just a awkward situation that I find myself in these situations. The best thing I can come up with is I looked at the cashier and I said, you know what? I wish that she was able to make up the price, because she's right here. And he said, yeah, I wish that was the case too. I wish she could have just came up with a price instead of having to go back there and get that Mexican out. Oh well. And he left, and it's just, why me? And I don't know if it's the Mexicans' big, huge goal to get a college education and work at all of our Goodwills to F us over. Is that the plan? Am I unaware of it? Maybe that's the plan. Maybe that's why I see some NES games for $4.56. Damn you Mexicans! Damn you to hell. Just thought I'd share because it was just a weird, surreal moment. And somehow, because I'm such a relatable white guy, I got dragged into it. Which is a shame. Really a shame, because I wanted nothing to do with it. And actually, that serves me right. I picked the shorter line, and over there on across the place, that person that, you always look at people as markers. Well, I could have been there. I'd be right there. And my marker was right out the door, and, he was still fussing over the Mexican's price on the basset hound carved out of wood. So I screwed myself in that one. I guess, I don't know, what's the moral here? We need a moral. Don't get behind older gay men in lines. Yeah. Even the most hated minorities have other minorities they hate even more, and they're willing to go after. That's a moral lesson. There's a price to pay for shopping at gently used stores, thrift stores, Goodwill, Salvation Armies. There is a price to pay because the clientele is really savage. I look savage, but I'm not as wild as some of these people. Thank you for listening. Yeah.